There can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt, all by myself, on purpose today. Wanted to do one here just in case I don't have time. My time is limited now that I'm in a dinner theater show with my friend Benjamin from Saturday Morning Samoflange. But this one I wanted to do on my own. I wanted to talk about the number 23. My 23rd wedding I've been a part of. Yes, that's right, folks. 23 weddings I've been a part of. 2 of them as a ring bearer, 1 as a groomsman, 2 as the best man, which almost became 3, but I'll talk about that later. So altogether, what would that make? I guess 18 times I've been a groomsman. So this is my 18th time as a groomsman, but as we're counting weddings, 23. And every time I'm in a wedding, I believe it's my last now. And I believe that for the past 3 years. For the past 3 years, I have been involved in weddings. And this is what? 6 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago, I think I turned to my wife and said, I'm done with weddings. It just kind of hit me that my wedding days were over. You know, and at least I thought they were. And the past 3 years have proved me wrong. Now, all good things must end, right? So, number 23, I'm saying this again, even though I never did a podcast on the other ones, but you could say, Matt, you're just repeating yourself, but I haven't done one on number 22 or number 21. But I always believe it's my last wedding. And this one, yes, again, I do believe it's my last wedding. Am I wrong on that? I don't think I am, but I've been wrong 3 years in a row. So, we'll see. Again, I have no idea who could be getting married next year who would want me in their wedding, you know, especially as a ring bearer. That would be hilarious to have a grown male as your ring bearer. Anyway, I would do it though. Number 23 happened in Shasta Mountain, California. If you don't know where that is, go up as far north as you can possibly get, where there may be traces of civilization before you hit Oregon. That's really it. And it was funny because when I was explaining this to someone, I said, it's really the only area, I think, north of Redding. And she went, tonight, she said, Mount Shasta? And I was like, yeah, how did you know that? And she pulled up her phone. She went, I was just looking for, description of the town you were discussing. I was like, wow, I didn't even say mountain in the name of it. But anyway, a good friend, Jeremy, got married. Bunch of highs, bunch of wild moments. I want to talk about them all. I was practicing this podcast in the car driving back to the airport after the wedding. And if I'm right, there may be a part 2, but who knows? I was kind of wired for sound, high on an energy drink, so I wouldn't fall asleep. But we get into my 23rd wedding. He's in California. I go there. I'm happy to be there. Most of the groomsmen, all of them but one I know, and one reminds me of a friend of mine down here, which was hilarious. In fact, I told my wife, I said, honestly, I mean, this guy's a little bit better. My friend that I know is a complete and utter bum. This guy is not. This guy, he has a job and everything. Not to say that's what he reminds me of as a bum. I'm just saying that, you know, when my wife rolled her eyes, I went, no, better than, you know, the friend I know. Because the friend I have here is a bum. And, but anyway, just in mannerisms and whatnot. He just reminded me of my buddy. And so the groomsmen, boom, I'm on ball. I'm not like stranger to the wedding. And I have said hello to his dad and sister before via Skype or Zoom in the past. So, but anyway, like I said, they know of me, but we don't know each other. I got to meet his mom and dad for the first time. I think they're wonderful people. His dad, for Star Wars fans, is a first-generation EU fan, meaning he read the books and then later on passed them on to Jeremy, who started reading them. His dad was reading Star Wars before Jeremy was, and is currently reading Star Wars today. Now that his son is back into it big time the past few years, his dad has been reading through books, and he was telling me what he'd been reading lately, a lot of Clone Wars novels, which we both agreed were not that good. And to be honest, we were talking about, rats. I'm going to get this wrong, and Jeremy's going to crucify me. I think it was No Prisoners. I can't remember. It was one that I liked, and he did not. And so we were kind of talking about the book, and he was quoting lines from it that he said were repetitive, and that's why he didn't like it and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're talking like I'm not just listening to it, and doing something else. I'm really giving this thought. So that was really impressive. Plus, oh my goodness, he's a Lord of the Rings fan. And I mean, my level Lord of the Rings fan. He's read the history of Middle-earth. He's read Silmarillion several times. And I'm like, oh, get out of here. My new adopted dad there. But really a nice guy, super smart, super funny. Honestly, both the parents were awesome. His sister, really nice too. I talked to her a little bit the first day. Didn't get to talk to her that much at the wedding, but I mean, that's fine. We were kind of everywhere. But the family is just super fun. Super fun. I was super happy to meet him. Another big check. However, on the way up there, so my flights to and from my hometown get messed up a lot. And back in June, I got the notification that my flight had changed. I looked it up, and my flight to Dallas had stayed the same. And my flight from Dallas to Sacramento had changed. And so I assumed it had changed for all the other groomsmen who were meeting me in Dallas and flying together. No, they bumped a flight up. And so I could not make the connecting flight, and they were leaving without me. Oh boy. Oh man, I was pissed at myself because I didn't figure this out till like 2 weeks before leaving. That I said, well, they bumped the flight down, guys. I said, no, they didn't. I went, yes, they did. Oh no. And I was just so upset at myself for not checking with the other groomsmen. It was a dumb move. And so now the groomsmen, to their credit, said, we'll wait for you 5 hours in Sacramento before leaving. No, I would never want to do that. I would hate anyone who made me wait 5 hours. And I know these guys were sincere. They sincerely would have waited for me, but I didn't want them to, especially when my flight returning got bumped up early in the morning. So it was a done deal. I had to get my own car. So I came in, by the way, tried to catch that connecting flight anyway, and just missed. I mean, the lady, it was like Home Alone, or something. The lady had just closed the door, and the plane was undocking. It was disconnecting from the dock. And I remember I sent a video message to one of the guys and went, look, that's your plane right there. And I am right here. I said, I just missed y'all. Y'all are on that plane, and I cannot get on there. But I mean, I went as fast as I could to try to catch that connecting flight. Because maybe if I can make it there, I'd say, please, please, please let me on this flight. They told me I couldn't make it, but I did. I was going to try to do it, but true enough, true to word, I could not have made. Now, maybe if they would have let me be the first one to deboard, yes, that would have saved me, I think, ample time to make it in time. But such was not the case. I lucked out, lost out. Oh, well. I got my car at the rental place, started driving down there. This is where it gets weird. And I told my wife this. Nothing but diesel trucks on the highway. I think I came across 2 regular cars. Regular, civilian-driven cars. Everything else was 18-wheelers. It was weird. Just a highway full of 18-wheelers. I know that can't be the case every time. But I was like, am I going to the land of nowhere? I don't know what's going here because no one else is traveling to this place except for diesel trucks. So I was kind of confused there. I pull into a Jack in the Box. I don't have one of those in my hometown. I've eaten there before, and I wanted to eat somewhere different. And I passed up several places that I know just for anything I don't have in my hometown. The only thing left was the Jack in the Box. So I said, Matt, what about In-N-Out? If it's not right off the highway, I'm not going to go get it. Plus, I think In-N-Out is overrated. But that's for another day. Anyway, so I finally pull over to a Jack in the Box. I grab a sourdough jack through the drive-thru thinking I could just eat it on the road. Then opening it up and realizing, no, this will be impossible to eat while I'm driving. Let me just pull over in the parking lot. So I do that. Keep the car running. By the way, the car I have, I don't know what it was, some kind of Buick. It had a little stick next to the wheel. If you flicked the stick up, it was reverse. If you flicked it down, not set it down, you had to flick it down, that would be drive. If you if you pulled it to you, if you flicked it to you, that was neutral. And if you pressed a button on the end of this wand, that was park. What? Never seen anything like that before. So confusing. I will not be driving or buying any of those ever. This thing was super confusing and fine. In fact, I made a joke about myself because I am the oldest groomsman. And I said, look, old man trying to figure out a new car. And they all started laughing at me because I kept telling them. They kept calling me for a while, and I couldn't figure out how to answer the phone because I had mine connected to Bluetooth, which it wouldn't disconnect from Bluetooth. And that's because there's a safety feature now. My wife doesn't have it on hers, but there's a safety feature now that will not let you disconnect your Bluetooth until the car is shut off. So I thought that was weird too. But anyway, when they did get in the car with me, they did say, oh, this is something weird and different. Okay, yeah, I don't know what any of this is either. So glad I got justified for that. Took me a while to figure out how to turn on the AC too. And I still couldn't control it, meaning bringing up the heat and cool. Still couldn't figure that out. I did press buttons. But either way, I'm in the drive-thru, Jack in the Box, engine running, diesel truck comes in, which of course I'm not surprised. The whole world up there is nothing but diesel trucks. Maybe local pedestrians just drive diesel trucks. But anyway, the diesel truck is trying to drive through the very narrow drive-thru. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? And then when he gets to the drive-thru, the truck driver realizes, oh, I'm not going to be able to go through this drive-thru. When have I ever seen a diesel truck go through a drive-thru? Anyway, so the diesel truck driver decides to back up. As he's backing up, his trailer, that he's pulling is moving my way. And it keeps moving my way. I'm thinking, what is he doing? And then it occurred to me, he has no idea that I'm here. And honestly, it would have totaled the car, but I flicked it in reverse really quick and gunned it. I mean, gunned it backwards. There were no cars in the parking lot. And gunned it backwards. He just missed me. I cannot make up how close he just missed me. From that moment, when he saw me shoot out, he pumped his brakes. He opened his door and gave me a wave like sorry. What kind of moron? In fact, I'll be honest, I don't think he knew how to drive a diesel truck. Trying to drive it through a drive-thru and then backing up and not even noticing the one car. It's a white car too, by the way. It's not like my car was, dark or anything, a dark blue or dark black, and it was nighttime. My car is pale white, and he wasn't even looking. He was just trying to back the trailer up. What an idiot. And by the way, to make matters worse, when I gunned it, I was scared. I clenched my sourdough jack and ketchup spilled all over my shirt, which was great because I didn't want stains because I didn't bring that many. I brought like 3 shirts, stained them, stained 2 of them. I had an undershirt for one. I was going to wear the overshirt the next day and then wear my other shirt, but stained both of them, ketchup everywhere, man down, 1 shirt. I borrowed another shirt from someone the next day. But either way, really upset by that. Idiot drivers, get back on the road. Of course, not in the best frame of mind. Finally get to the place. It's not Shasta Mountain. It's another place where my friend lives. And it is 8:15, let's say. It could have been earlier, but I'll be generous and say 8:15. 8:30. It wasn't 8:30, I know, but let's say 8:30. I'm driving down. When I get into town, I'm driving down this road. There is no cars. There are no cars. No places are open. Everything is closed and no cars. The streets are clean. The place looks nice, but there's no one on it. I don't care what small town you're a part of. If no one is driving after 8 p.m., I mean, even the laziest of, I have small towns like this. And you're talking maybe midnight, there'd be no cars. I don't even know if midnight there'd be no cars. But still, even the laziest of towns around 8:30 would have some cars. And when I asked the groom, I said, hey, man, is it usually dead like this? He went, oh, yeah, after 8, everyone goes home. No dip. There was no one out there. I was shocked. So we stay at this little B&B, Airbnb, I guess. Um, and he hangs out with us. We hang out that night. I was only there by the end of the night, so I didn't get to hang out that much. But I'd missed dinner. They'd gone out earlier, but they saved me some pizza, which was very nice. And then go home. Now, I will say this, ACs, not used very much in California, I imagine. They say they usually open a window, turn on a fan. I get that. I found it stuffy in the room. Now, again, this is just me. Remember, Southern boy has to have AC pumping in his, a house 24/7 because it's always hot outside. So I'm used to a cold house. I am not used to a lukewarm house. Plus, I have discovered something. My body is spoiled by my bed. My home bed has a memory foam mattress, which I bought it from a girl who was graduating college and just wanted to make some money. She wanted to make some, quick money. And I didn't buy it because I wanted it. I bought it because I love her and I wanted her to have the money. And, if she wanted to give me something, that's fine. And we rolled it out and we said, hey, this is pretty nice. Now I can't live without that foam mattress. That foam mattress has saved my life. I can't sleep anywhere. I do not sleep well if I'm not in my own bed. And case in point, that night, did not sleep well. Plus, I was warm. But I was like, dang, I cannot get, I got a little bit of sleep, but we'll talk about that later. That was the most sleep. That first night was the most sleep I got on the whole trip. So after that, the next morning, we wake up, we have fun, and there is a coffee shop. I don't drink coffee, but they go down to the coffee shop just right next to us, get some coffee. And then there is a Dollar Tree next to that. Well, I have forgotten my shaving razor. And I was like, oh no, can't be showing up at the wedding all gruff looking. Got to go get my razor. I asked the groomsmen if they want to walk with me to Dollar Tree. They do. We go there. Pretty good Dollar Tree. Has way more stuff than my Dollar Tree ever had. I was very impressed. But when I was looking for razor blades, the guy who worked there said, hey, can I help you find something? I said, yeah, I'm looking for razor blades. He said, oh, to cut stuff? To cut stuff? No, to shave, said the number one answer on Family Feud. What do you mean to cut stuff? Are we cutting cocaine here? Are we slitting our wrist? I don't know what to cut stuff means. He goes, oh yeah, right, to shave. Yeah, yeah. Like, that was stupid to say to cut stuff. Welcome to California. Anyway, so he gives me my razors. We retreat, still have fun, have to drive an hour up to the aforementioned Shasta Mountain, which, by the way, is beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, honestly, beautiful. They had the photo booth at the wedding turned away from the mountain. I don't know why, because there's no better background than that mountain. I took several people's pictures behind the mountain, with the mountain behind them. They were beautiful. It's a beautiful mountain. I'll be honest. I was sitting staring at the mountain the whole time. Any time I was looking at it, I could just stare at it forever. I thought it was so beautiful. It's such a beautiful place. And they had a beautiful venue for their wedding as well. Getting to that, when we signed in, the lady and the owners were kind of, I don't know, odd. The lady seemed kind of cool with me. She remembered my name because I supposedly walked in, because I never meet a stranger. I walk into this house where the first one's there. There's some people talking, and I just walk up to him and say, hello, my name is Matt Wilkins. I'm one of the grooms. I don't know anyone here. Who are you? And it turned out to be everyone who is, no one associated with the wedding. They were all people who ran the building. But the lady told me that impressed her, and she never forgot my name. And she did. She kept calling me Matt. And we had a little chats here and there, and that was fun. It was a little weird that they stayed for the wedding and the rehearsal and everything else, basically just kind of snooping and looking. It was almost like they'd peek behind bushes to make sure we weren't messing up their lawn or something. It was really weird. I know the father of the groom had a little kerfuffle with the manager, the guy manager there, but I don't blame him because it was just kind of weird. They were just hanging out, looking around, making sure we told people not to go into their bathroom because they're not paying customers. They need to use the little outhouse bathroom. And I was like, okay, chill. These people are paying thousands of dollars probably to rent this venue from them from you. Chill. Do you not trust them or something? And I bet that's what the father of the groom was thinking. And he kind of ruffled, the feathers were ruffled too much where he said, can I help you? What do you want? Is there a problem? And when the guy touched his arm, said, no, man, no problem. He's like, don't touch me. And I heard it, got a little thick there for a minute. But again, I do not blame the father of the bride. He paid for this venue. Screw you. Why are you looking at him like he's a 4-year-old handling some crystal plates at a store, and you're afraid that he may drop them at any moment? That would have been the feeling I would have gotten too. I probably would have done worse, to be honest. I probably would have been more irritated. I'd like, look, dude, leave me alone. You got your money. And if I ever lose my deposit for something that you didn't like, then I guess, man, that if you smoke in the room, she said it's $250. If you vomit in the room, it's $100 per person. How do you know if it's not one person cleaning up vomit? One person just vomiting everywhere? I don't know. Either way, I just thought those were weird rules. I laughed and then signed the paper. I was like, okay, no vomit. Okay, gotcha. But I thought, well, doesn't that come with the cleaning lady? Do you not want to rent this place out? Either way, it was beautiful. The place was beautiful. That's what's important. There's no one to set up tables and chairs. Heavy, heavy, heavy wooden tables and chairs. So the groomsmen have to do it. That's fine. It was a fun bonding experience for us all. Afterwards, we got to go eat lunch at what's called I can't remember now, Black Bear Diner. Basically like mountain man food, all big portions, big flapjacks and big portions of everything. It was the original one. I've never been to any other one, even though I found out there are several in Texas. But this is the original one. And so it was great to do that. I got meatloaf. I love meatloaf. I got the half order, which I'm thankful I didn't order the whole because I probably would have died. But the half order was great. Someone had a breakfast meal that was like Big Bear breakfast or whatever, and that thing could feed 3 people. It was so huge. It was so huge. When I saw it, I was like, how are you going to finish that? And he didn't. He didn't even come close. He kept the leftovers, but the thing was, he didn't have time to eat. You never keep leftovers. I'm sorry, Adam, if you're listening. You never keep leftovers on a trip, buddy. You never eat the leftovers. I don't think he ever got to eat the leftovers, unless he did his last morning there, which that would be the last time he'd have to eat them, so maybe he did. But you never keep your leftovers. I will say this, speaking of yesterday, the owners of the house did cook everyone breakfast because it was a bed and breakfast. And so we went in and they gave us a raspberry compost sorbet or whatever, which was good. They gave us Italian fried eggs, which had cheese on them and were shaped differently, which were good. And some, I don't know, it was homemade bread, I'm assuming, toasted, which was good. And then they gave us a scone. I can't remember if it was blueberry or raspberry scone. Excellent. I'm assuming they made this on their own and they're good cooks. And obviously the guy had served the same meal before because he had a speech. He would say, to introduce what they're having today, your menu for the day. And they're right. It was awesome. It was great. I loved it. All you could drink was coffee and water there. Folks, if you don't know me, I'm a soda man and I was dying. But I did manage one energy drink a day there. And that gave me over. I didn't drink my regular soda. In fact, now I'm going on a soda-free diet for the next month. We'll see how long this lasts. Can I get off soda long enough? Because soda's not good for you. I've been wanting to get off of it, so let's take a little break on it. But either way, the breakfast was good. The Black Bear Diner was good. Oh, I should mention, this is California. They had all gender bathrooms. Both of them said all gender. And it was the biggest poop and fastest poop I'd ever taken in my entire life. I was like, okay, not sharing this with anyone. But I took a picture and showed my wife, said, welcome to California. And anyway, so we finally get in the day of the wedding. We were only supposed to eat breakfast and then wait until 2 p.m. to take pictures. And then at 3:15, the wedding would commence. That ended up not being the plan because immediately after finished breakfast, we were told to get dressed because we were going to take pictures. And boy, did we. For 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, we took pictures. I don't know. I'm sure they paid a lot for it because there were like 3 photographers and 1 videographer. But my goodness, 4.5. I was like, and it was pictures of everything, everywhere, anytime, anywhere. I was like, oh my God, this thing goes on and on and on. You pay for them the whole day, I guess. But I'm sure they were expensive. I know my buddy got his money back. He got his money's worth for sure. Because, I mean, they did not leave us alone for pictures. Pictures of everything. Everything you could think about. And we went to a different location and took pictures too. I should say, backing up here, the night before the reception went fine. I got to meet his grandmother, which is super nice, super funny. She dressed up for the thing, and I'd seen her earlier, and now she was in a dress. I went, oh, look at you. I said, all dressed and ready to party, but even put on your dancing shoes, which she let go of her walker and started to dance a little bit, much to her son's horror, because she supposedly she falls a lot. But she reminded me of my grandmother on my mom's side that passed away maybe like 8 years ago or something. I mean, I just beat for beat, I could see my grandmother in her. So I instantly took a liking to her. She instantly took a liking to me. In fact, I got to walk her down, escort her to her seat during the wedding, and she was so happy. So happy. And then later on, when I was checking on her at the rehearsal dinner, she told me that I was a good man because she had heard me talking to my kids earlier. I called my kids about twice a day while I was gone. So she's like, I heard you talking to your little girls, and you are a good man. Yeah, I said, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But honestly, she reminded me of my grandmother. Love that little old lady. Totally good. Thumbs up for the little old lady. Even extended family of my buddies was great. And also, while I'm getting to this, at the rehearsal dinner, that is when I am told that I will be giving the speech at the wedding tomorrow because the best man refused to do it. Now, the groom is upset by this. He is bemoaning the fact that he made this guy the best man, and it should have been you. It should have been you. And I said, you know what? No, because you made the best man the shyest person. He's the shyest guy. And this guy is really cool. Honestly, we all love him. We all love him. If it was down to those guys, I think every single one of us would make this guy our best man because he's just a fun dude. He's a fun dude. You just don't know it. He has his little idiosyncrasies. He is kind of shy and quiet, but when you get to know him, and he's super smart too. Super engineer. He's an engineer, super smart, but knows about everything. Knows about coins collecting. He talked history with me. Of course, he talks baseball with me because we both love baseball, but I love him too. I in fact, repeatedly, I told him that weekend, I want him to come with me. He needs to move down here. I'm too old to make new friends, and he's the perfect friend to have. But he just went, huh, because he doesn't care about that. But anyway, so it shouldn't come as a shock that this guy is not going to do a speech. He does not do speeches. So I was happily going to do it. I had no idea what to say, but I'd think about it. Spoiler alert, I didn't know what I was going to say until the day came. But anyway, that's later. Maybe for part 2 now, since I see we're wrapping this up. Anyway, so our tables, it's hopping. We're talking. There are separate tables everywhere. One of the tables is that unfortunate table that didn't have anyone. They're kind of they lost the musical chairs. They're sitting at an empty table. There was another couple there. They weren't talking to each other. The other couple got up and left, and it was just the two of them. I recognized them from earlier, and it was the groom's. One of his friends he works with and his girlfriend. And I'd met them earlier. And I saw them sitting at the table by themselves. And if you don't know me, I feel bad. I hate that. What is the saddest thing in the world to me? It is someone going to a sit-down restaurant and eating by himself. That irks me to no end. And if my wife would allow me, I would invite them to our table. I hate people eating by themselves. And so there they were by themselves. It's killing me when I saw it, and I wanted to stay at my table because I knew it's me and the groomsmen and a few of the bridesmaids, which I'll talk about next time, but they turned out to be very nice. They weren't mean or ugly, but the thing was, I was getting to know these people. I was jamming, but I said, no, that bothers me that they're sitting by themselves. They came out here. There's no one to talk to. They're not having as much fun, so I'm going to go talk to them. I did. Boom. I have a new best friend. Dude, super cool. I'll give his name Elisha. Super cool. Got his number before I left. His girlfriend's name is Piper, which is the same name as my oldest daughter. So much. I did not, and I even admitted to him that day, I did not know this was going to be so much fun, but it was. And that was just the beginning of it all. But I'm going to stop right there because I knew this would take 2 podcasts. So I'll keep talking about the day of the wedding next time on Princes of the Universe.